welcome to the latest and exciting edition of Making Events Awesome online live stream. You beaut, no worries. Warwick Merry here. I am still in holiday mode, hence the quite relaxed kind of cash thing. But I'd love to hear from you, so hit the chat box, let me know what's going on, because in the event space, it's messy. Oh man, it's messy. Just when you think things are getting back to normal, it's messy. And so it's my job to try and help make them unmessy. So I wanted to let you know a couple of things that have come up across my desk lately. There was a recent report coming out of the US. One of the venues associations did a bit of surveying, and what they've found is there's an overwhelming demand for face-to-face events. So the want is there. People are tired of being online. You've heard of Zoom fatigue, and I think people are just sick of staring at screens, but also they want to get back in touch with the people. The challenge is it safe to do so? Insurance companies will not cover COVID. Some governments in the UK and Australia is talking about it in terms of covering some event organisations just in case they have to cancel their event due to COVID. In Australia here, Omicron's going gangbusters, and there's a couple of big events that have been cancelled and will continue to do. The Professional Conference Organisers Association has, again, for the second year in a row, deferred their conference until the end of this year. I believe that's a wise move because, I don't know about you, so many people around me are getting COVID, and some people are not. It's not just a cold. A friend of ours is touch and go as to whether she's going into hospital. So what can we do in the event space to make sure it's okay? It's all about minimizing risk. So my humble suggestion to you is, if you can, flip it online. I don't know whether I'd cancel it, but I'd look at how do we get it online quick. And I think, as I've said previously, with the risk of COVID, any event you put together now, you really do need to have a backup plan for flipping it online. I'd love to know your thoughts as to whether your events are doing that, or whether as a supplier to the events that you have a backup plan. I know for a lot of speakers, they can very easily go to presenting online, but what about sponsors? What are you doing so that if it does go online, do you have a portal? Do you have something set up so that you have a strategy? How do I get better value out of this when we flip to it online? And I think that's really important. And I think sponsors have had it really tough with our events, with all the online, because it is harder to interact in that digital world. Analog is so easy when you're hanging around for lunch and like, oh, g'day, what do you do and what's going on? You can have that conversation that can lead to a, wow, that's interesting. But digital, you've got to want to go there. So I think it's really important for sponsors and for event organisers to assist sponsors to have what's a backup plan if we do need to go digital? How can we make sure that we're still getting good engagement and delivering great value for our sponsors? I think that's really important. By the way, you'll see at the bottom there, I've started a new Facebook group, Making Events Awesome. And so over the course of the coming year, my focus really is to contribute to that group and get others contributing as well. I am by no means the leading guru of all things. There are other people who know many more items than I. So I would love for you to check it out and join so we can share some of that common knowledge. So here's what I've also been hearing from some of my medical friends, and also for some people who've been doing some research in the events industry. In Australia, there is a thought, it's just a thought, asterisk, no guarantee, there is a thought that, great question from Fab, and I think I'm just about to answer that. Fab has said, do we think in-person events will come back Q1 in Australia? I think they will towards the end. And here's the medical advice that I've seen and heard is that they reckon that Omicron's going to start to, by the end of February, will start to phase down. The challenge is it's really hard to get a venue for March because everything has been booked out, because we so want to get back to face-to-face that people have been booking March all good to go. So I reckon March, we're going to have some face-to-face. There are density restrictions have come in now. I think it's back up to 4 square metres. So, and masks are back on again. I've got to be honest, I'm wearing my mask most of the time. Even when I go outside and we go and do things, I'm wearing that mask because I want to be safe. And I think that's really important for our clients. So, yeah, I think, Fab, to answer your question, late Q1, early Q2. I think if you are planning Q1, you really have to have can I flip it to online? So I hope that helps answer your question. It could, because the risks are high, and we want to make sure, as I said before, you can't get insurance to cover that kind of stuff. So I'm looking forward to it, though. I have great hope for 2022. I think the last 2 years have built a massive desire for face-to-face events, so I think they will come back. I don't think you'll be quite as big as some of the previous ones have been. I think people are going to be. I think they're going to be very cautious, but I definitely think that this year is going to have a lot of face-to-face events, and we're all just not sure because we don't know if there'll be more variants. We don't know what's going to happen. I got to be honest. I think the Australian government has let us down significantly with the rat rollouts and all the other or strollouts, should we say, all the other stuff that's going on. So it's going to be interesting times ahead. But no matter what, I'm looking forward to it. I still think that there are some great events that can happen. Some great events that can happen. The good comment from Fab. It is about feeling safe. And this is the thing. It is about feeling safe. And I think a lot of organizations are going to be looking at some form of hybrid. I suspect they'll do a lot of broadcast where you can't quite have that interaction, but we're going to have an event and send it down the pipe so people can watch, because it is about feeling safe. I was out last night in my local neighborhood and there was hardly anyone on the street. There is no lockdown, there is no curfew, there is no whatever, and yet people are doing these self-instigated lockdowns just to make sure they stay safe. And I think that's going to be the same with any of our events, is making sure people feel safe, making sure that they have whatever resources they need so that they know that they will be safe. And I think that density requirement, instead of just saying, well, we're just going to shove everyone to the front, I think it is worthwhile to making sure that we enforce that social distancing. So anyway, I hope that is a value. I look forward to your company over in the Making Events Awesome Facebook group where we hang out and share some commentary and stuff there. So please go and check it out. And I have a lot of hope for 2022. I think that we're going to do some great things, and we can still do a lot of really good things online. I think the online space is well underutilized. A lot of people have done stuff online, but they've been pretty ordinary, to be honest. There's some simple tech out there that does some good stuff, but more importantly, there are some fantastic people that can bring online events to life. You cannot just stand in there and give your same presentation. And I think that events that have done that have suffered. All right. Hey, thanks for joining me for the Making Events Awesome online live stream. Great to have you here. I look forward to your company next week. We come back here every Thursday, 9 a.m. Melbourne time. If you have any questions, reach out on whatever channel you're watching, throw it in the chat. I'm more than happy to have a conversation with you. Thanks, Claire. And yes, Winston was in the background having a bit of a chat. So, yeah, he's good. He keeps everything safe. All right, everybody, enjoy the day. Reach out if you need to. And I look forward to your company next time. Thanks very much.